Let's speak now to Helgard Cronje, who's the Solidarity's Deputy General Secretary. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Now, Denel has roughly until next week to meet the court's deadline. Do you think they will?
Hi, Bongu. No, not at all. We are anticipating that they won't be meeting those deadlines. We've already written them a final letter of demand, reminding them of the 10 days and indicating that they've got until the 7th of March. And if they don't pay, we will continue with the legal process, which basically includes issuing further warrants of execution.
Now, one of the things that we saw last year was that Denel told Parliament that it owes staff around 636 million rand in salaries and a further 900 million. This is, of course, owed to its suppliers. On top of this, its available cash is insufficient to meet operational requirements. You know, Denel's problems have been ongoing for quite some time. Do you think there's willpower, though, that is enough in order to fix the mess in that particular SOE?
At this stage, no. It seems as though the political leaders think they have time to fix this. But I mean, they've run out of time and things are becoming very urgent. I've just seen a report today that indicated that the Parliamentary Committee on Defence said that Minister Pravin Gordhan asked for further time for his department to fix Denel. But this has been going on, since the early stages of 2020 when we went into the first hard lockdown, and nothing has changed. A lot of empty promises has been made, but nothing has changed, and we don't see the urgency that's needed. So we hope by applying some pressure through these court and legal processes that we can put pressure on government to act.
One of the things that is clear, though, is that while these legal processes are unfolding, you're writing letters, you're attaching, property in order to try and assist your members. It's one thing on the legal front, but it must be taking a toll on your members personally.
Without a doubt, Solidarity luckily is a larger movement than just a trade union. We have institutions that look at the social side of our members as well, and through Solidariteit Helpende Hand, we've been able to give some assistance with food parcels, and in that way we have been able to assist some of our members. We would have liked to do more, but we are doing what we can. It is, however, taking a toll on our members. During last week, when food parcels were handed out in Boksburg, there were interviews done with some of our members, and it brought them to tears because some of them have lost everything. And they are staying loyal to Denel, and then you see that politicians basically want to fight for more time, whilst they had more than a year. We're going on for 2 years now to basically make a change.
I'd like to stay with that as you talk about some of your members that, are reduced to tears. Last night, I saw a tweet suggesting that, last year there was a husband who took his own life and the wife a month later. And now, their son has done the same, talking about some financial pressures that are faced, by those that are working for this particular entity. I wonder if your union has had to deal with some cases of people possibly taking their own lives, or as you say, you've alluded to it that they've lost everything, but I wonder if there's been any that have taken their own lives.
Not from our members specifically that we are aware of. We don't know about anybody committing suicide from our members, but there has been reported cases of suicide under Denel members and their family members. There were some media reports in 2020 already of people committing suicide. So this has happened, and it is happening, and it's a reality. That's what happens if people have to survive for basically 2 years without receiving their full salaries. Many people do have savings, but that only lasts you so long. So what they've basically fell back on is to go on pension and live from their pension money, but some of them aren't even 60 yet, so it's going to catch up with them at some point, and it doesn't seem like government cares for these workers to a certain extent.
And, you know, Helgard, while we speak tonight, we are awaiting another installment of the State Capture Commission's report, but I can't help but draw your attention to the second one, because this particular report found that governance processes, for example, were weakened and state capture flourished at Denel, and talking about, you know, casting even some serious aspersions to the appointment of former Minister Kikaba, for example, as well as Lynn Brown. You think this is an institution that could be able to get back on its feet, given the fact that the minister is now saying that he would like more time in order to be able to fix the mess that we saw being caused by state capture?
Look, Denel can definitely be saved. I don't have a doubt about that. They have quality products, quality intellectual property. And it's still sought after technology in the international market. So if you look at it from that point of view, there is a business case, which means Denel can be saved because they've got something to sell. But you've got a shareholder in government that doesn't seem to see that value, or doesn't think that it's a priority at this stage. We don't expect any prosecutions emanating from the Zondo report, because that's what government has done in the past. They see these corrupt activities, they maybe talk to somebody and tell them don't do it again, but nothing actually happens to them. So we've taken that to heart, and we are basically working from that premise to say we don't expect any action from government, so we'll take it on our own. We've studied the Zondo report. We've given our legal team instruction to look at what charges can be laid against those individuals, and we will soon be doing that, because we cannot stand for our members basically cross-funding corruption, because that is what happened. What we are seeing now is individuals that paid with their salaries and taxpayers that paid with their tax money for corruption and state capture. That's basically what happened. They funded state capture.
Helgard, thank you so much for your time. We'll continue to keep tabs on the story to see if you are having to use, those other legal means you alluded to in order to try and assist your members. Thank you so much for your time. That was Helgard Cronje. He's the Union Solidarity's Deputy General Secretary.